CHAP CAST live from Chapman Studios.
Hey. What's happening, people? Okay, so we are in June, and this is episode 18. Bruh, lockdown, yeah, a year and a half been doing this. Mental. Still only got one follower, and that's my mate Type. All right, so we are on episode 3 of the start of the solo days. So I am gonna next month I'm gonna jump back into the next band that I was a part of. So I mean there's loads of solo stuff that I've been doing since the last band, and do you know what I mean, before this next excursion of being in a band. But I mean after being solo for a while, you start to get lonely. So I just like it took me that amount of time to sort of pluck up the courage to think, I can be in another band and we can all be great pals and take it to the top of the world. And do you know what I mean? But met some pretty good new musicians that I had around me and stuff, but we will talk about all of that next month. Today we're going to do, this is solo free. It's not the end of the solo days because obviously bands disappear and then I have to get back out on the road on my own. Basically this is the third installment, and then we go back to a band installment, and then wait and see. All right, so but these sort of last 3 episodes I've sort of like thought to myself, right, base it around the venue, and do you know what I mean, like the other 2 have been the Lucky Pig and the Alley Cat, where I played numerous times like over the years, just keep playing at these venues, you know what I mean, and the last 2 I absolutely loved. But then I was looking at other venues that I could do, and a lot of them I only had sort of half a gig's recordings of songs, like, and it just wouldn't have worked because I wouldn't have had enough material. But then I come across this venue, and the venue like today that we're going to do it about is a venue called Indigo, and it's in Chelmsford in Essex. And I only played there once, but it was such a laugh. Like, we're a little posse of us, little group, I don't know, about 15 of us, went down to this venue. I can't even remember where we met the promoter, but they wanted us to play. I say us, I mean me and my brother Richard, and a few of the bands that were meant to play as well on the night didn't turn up. So me and Richard ended up having the stage to ourselves, like, and there was a fridge full of free alcohol that was like right next to the stage. So it's like me and Richard on these stools on a stage next to each other, and he's like, right, yeah. Do you remember that song you done? No one knows him, yeah, but you play that one. And then I was like, played the song, finished it, grabbed the Corona out of the beer fridge and sat there and looked at Richard and sort of said, right, yeah, play me that food song. And then he'd do his song, and then it was like another one of mine, another one of his, another one of mine. And we had like some like really close pals in the crowd. There was like my Mrs. Angie and our friend Rosie and Desi, and don't even ask me who else. There was loads of them there though. We'd all jumped on this train and got down to Chelmsford and found the venue, and it was a wicked night because they had at the back of the pub they had like a massive barbecue and all that, and like, because if you're performing there they just give you free beer, free food, free everything, you know what I mean, and like, and well, to tell you the truth, there was like 15 of us, including me and Richard, but I reckon that not one of that group paid for a drink all night, and all had a fat munch outside with the old barbecue as well. Yeah, so it was a top night. Like we had a right laugh, got really drunk, and yeah. So I don't know if any of the recordings are going to sound any good. Do you know what I mean? But I'll play them to you anyway. And yeah, so all right. So this episode is based around the venue called Indigo that is in Chelmsford in Essex, if anyone knows it. And yeah, it was a nice venue. Would have loved to play there with a band though. Would have been top with a band because it was a decent stage and like, yeah, it was a lovely little pub. You know what I mean? So I will, and also in the future, I'm gonna get Richard in here somehow. I don't know. I have to get him in a headlock or something and bring him here. And yeah, I'll do like 1 or 2 episodes on Rich, and we can go through. Like maybe the first episode would do his like old music, and then in the second episode would do his new music. You know what I mean? And his little releases and that. Oh, I just released another album. It's now on iTunes to buy. You can stream it on Spotify and Apple Music, but I would prefer you to buy it because it helps me out. Nice one. It's called Double Double, a demo album, and basically that is what it is. Basically, just where I've been doing this CHAP cast and I've been hunting my archive for material to stick on here. Like I just ended up finding all these demos that I've done over the years at different studios and different, do you know what I mean, with different bands around me and stuff like that. And I just ended up at the end of it, like once I'd filtered through it a little bit. To tell you the truth, there's 2 songs on the album that I'm not very happy with the recordings. Like we won't mention what studio that it was recorded in Southampton, but yeah, but the other 18 tracks are top of the pops. Yeah, so you got to get on it, man. Have a listen. Like, yeah, Double Double, a demo album, John Chapman. Yes, and that's out on iTunes, as I say now, to buy, $7.99. Not bad for 20 tracks. It's all right, isn't it? Yeah, so yeah, as I say, this episode is gonna all be about the day trip that we had to a venue called Indigo in Chelmsford, Essex. And yeah, so let's start me up, baby, with some music. Yeah, all right, first track, Little Green Street.
Good evening, I'm John Chapman. I'm from London town, down the road. This tune is called Little Green Street.
Little green street.
Cheers.
Okay. Yeah, so that was Little Green Street. You can hear a dog barking at the beginning. it was quite like, I don't know what the local people are like around that area, do you know what I mean? But I think everyone was in there with their dogs and everything, like. But yeah, so that was Little Green Street. Next up is Take Me Back.
Take me back.
All right, and yeah, that was Barney's song, Take Me Back. Yeah, you can hear Rosie shouting out there. Good old Rose. Yeah, I think so, like these songs ain't being played in the right order, but I think all of the songs so far are when I was on stage on my jacks. I don't think Richard had come up and joined me yet. Okay, so the next song is It's Free.
Got it. sorry. Just wanted to be out of my brain. I'm in the wrong town, mama. I need to be somewhere right now. So come on, please, won't you help me? And get me to where I belong. You got it, you want it, it's free. Cheers.
Yes. That's his free. You can hear Richard's getting ready to join me, I'd say. Okay, so let's carry on. Next tune is No People, No More. Yes, the tune I wrote with Philip.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, you can hear that Richard has actually joined me on stage for that tune. I'm not sure if the next tune's not going to feature him, and then it will, and it won't, and it will, whatever. They're not in the right order, so I ain't got a clue. But you can hear that Richard's in that song, and you can also hear that we didn't rehearse it whatsoever, because we're a bit out in places, but it's all good fun, innit? You know what I mean? Like, I think the thing was when we got to Chelmsford and got in the venue, and then the sound man or whatever said to us, look, there's meant to be 8 bands playing today, starting at 2 o'clock till 11 o'clock tonight or whatever, and 6 of them are not coming. So, and one of them's got to go after their set, and the other one's going to do a little bit extra as well. But he sort of said, yeah, can you do it? Yeah. And we was like, yeah, we can do it. We got enough songs. We ain't rehearsed them, but you know what I mean? Like we just have a go and see how it goes. And yeah, and like Richard sort of just said to me, oh yeah, I'll get up and do a few of your tunes with you if you want. And I was like, sweet. I was like, yeah, let's do it, mate. Yeah. So all right, yeah. So that was No People No More, the tune that I wrote with Phil Carrigan. And then next up, I can't even remember. Let me see. I think it's No One Knows Him, the song I wrote with Amon Amazandi.
Yeah, this one's called No One Knows Him. They probably do if they read the papers in the 60s.
Yes, and that was No One Knows Him. And that was the first tune. Well, I mean, me and Amon were probably had a go at some other tunes, but the first tune that actually made it as a tune that stuck around, and yeah, and I'm still playing it today. And I'm sure if Amon was still doing music, he would still be playing it today because it's such a classic. Richard weren't with me on that tune either, so I don't know if he was getting up and getting down, getting up and getting down, or all the ones with him in are at the end of my set and he just got up and stayed on stage, which is probably more than likely what happened. So next up I've got Black Blanket, which is my lovely heartfelt song. And then we're at track 6, so I think it's time after Black Blanket for this month's CHAPPY Q and A. I did it the first month, Richard was last month, but I wonder who we've managed to pull into it this month. Just wait and see after Black Blanket.
Yeah, this tune is called Black Blanket. It's about my eyes. I can't see you beautiful people, but I'm sure you're all scrumptious.
Yeah, I do. I always do.
I know what he looks like. Looks like we're in a stationary town. Keep up the kid and let us shine. Look for a reason to feel down. Just give it up and feel the sound. Black blanket, swear I'll be in time with. I can't see black blanket wrapped around me, keep me warm when I can't see. Now it's falling, shine sky, this black blanket across my eyes. Black blanket, swear I'll be in time when I can't see. Black blanket wrapped around me, keep me warm when I can't see. Cheers. I'm going to ask my brother to join me on stage. You've recently seen him.
Yes, and that was Black Blanket. and you can hear me inviting my brother to the stage. So this must be officially where he joined me. So I guarantee that the next track that I'll play you will be Mum's a Word, because it's got to be the track that I pull him up for all the time. But before then, we have got this month's Chappy Q and A.
Hi guys, my name is Rosie. I've known John for some years now, and I really like his music. He's a great friend of mine.
Name your top 5 bands or music acts.
Rainbow, Deep Purple, Metallica, The Cult, and Iron Maiden.
Name your favourite guitar brand and your favourite amplifier brand.
Fender and Fender.
Name your favourite venue to play at that you have played at.
I'm not a musician, but I watched you play with the Chapman band at the Dublin Castle, and I really like that one.
Name your favourite venue to go and watch music at.
It's got to be the Roundhouse, where we watch the rifles.
What's your favourite place in the world?
Well, I guess there's many. I love the Hampstead Heath, where I could walk my dogs. And maybe Greece. Small islands, Halkidiki.
What's your favourite alcoholic drink?
What do you think, John? It's vodka.
Do you prefer Camden or Islington for a night out?
Camden. Camden.
For you, is it dogs or cats?
Cats. No way. Dogs all the way. Dogs for me, John.
What is your favourite football team?
Do I have to be careful in here what I say? Or of course, I'm a gooner.
For you, is it tea or coffee?
Coffee all the way. Bring the double espressos in now, John.
CHAP CAST.
Yes, and that was Rosie Henderson doing Chappy Q and A. Yes. I'd just like to say massive thank you to Rosie for doing that. And if anybody else wants to get involved on the old Chappy Q and A, let me know. Okay, so that was Black Blanket, and next up is Mum's a Word, and yes, this one will be featuring Richard.
Hi. We ain't done many rehearsals together.
Yeah, 1, 2
Seems it's so hard to get a band to
2 weeks ago.
I was going to play with your brother. Dean of New Lads. My mum is full 100% English, and so's my dad.
So my mum was there.
His mum's Dominican Gypsy.
That's right.
Lovely birthday.
Hey, we're in the Chapman Bros, we make coffee and cream. Woo! Chapman! Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, and that was Mum's the Word. Yeah, I don't know why me and Richard just always seem to do that tune together, but we just do. Yeah, so let's keep it rolling. And the next tune is On My Mind.
This tune is called On My Mind. It's not about Angie, but she's the one on my mind. Forever.
Yes, and that was On My Mind. Yeah, just another one of them old tunes. Yeah, so next up is a song called I Know Love. And I think this is the only gig I ever played it in. So this is the only recording of the song, but sadly it's not a full recording. It's sort of, I think it was Desi was like filming this on a tablet, and I've nicked the audio from that video. But he must have like just started filming it a little bit into the song. But yeah, so next up, this is I Know Love.
I
Yes, and that was the only recording of I Know Love that I know about, other than it's a B-side on Black Blanket or Take Me Back. One of the two EPs. It's a B-side, I think, on Take Me Back. I mean on Black Blanket, but it might be Take Me Back. So check it out. Both EPs, amazing. Both on iTunes, along with my latest EP, Mr. Zoob, and all of my albums, Little Green Street, All I Am, The Italian Job, and now Double Double. Okay, so what is next? Sorry, yes, it's Resurrection, and it goes a little bit like this.
Yeah, this one's called One Barrel.
Take that back. You've been amazing, thank you. Oh, we're always amazing. We're all amazing. Just clap for yourself because you're all beautiful.
Yeah, sounds like that was the last song in the set. But as I say, I've got these all mixed up, all in different places or whatever, and I've still got tracks left. Yeah, so that was Resurrection. Sounded like Richard was on a stage with me again for that one. Next up, we've got a tune I wrote with Amon back in the day called Coming Down. Wonder what this one's about.
This tune's called Coming Down. We hope you've all been good tonight, not in the toilets. Chasing.
No one's coming up in the toilet.
This one's called Coming Down.
Yes, and that was Coming Down. Okay, so I've still got a couple of tracks left. Next track is Gullible. Let's play that and we'll see where we are. Nice one.
Not him though. He is one of those slugs that's just come over from Spain. This geezer will eat the life out of your trees.
Strawberry. Let's play to the last man people in the pub.
He's going to do break dancing in a minute. Hopefully it breaks his neck.
Yeah, you're right, Corey, remember now.
It goes a little bit like this. When the ships decline, they're gonna find, they're gonna look all I can leave now. The clocks are ticking, going 30, they're gonna look all I can leave now. It's just like a music band, and it's a music
And that was Gullible. Okay, so I have got one more song for you people. Yeah, I've got one more tune, and then I have got a CHAP TALE. The song I've got left is Whiskey Drinking Cockney Scots. So I will leave you with that song, which will be followed by a CHAP TALE, and which will be followed by bye bye. See you next month. Love you.
Family life. Yeah, I'm going to do one more. This tune is called Whiskey Drinking Cockney Scots. Adam Bagger for turning up, but this Jones is in the house. This Jones! Rosie and Robbie, of course, the one and only, the gorgeous.
Richie got Chappy. Richie got Chap. I'm the best thing I've got getting character. Same thing. I'm doing a good job.
I can smell the barbecue, so I'm right after.
Oh yeah, I'll be back in a minute, bro. I'll be back in a minute.
I'd like to thank Wayne for letting us play tonight. Top fella. I'll come back any year you need me. Probably never again, but there you go.
I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to do after the I've got a contract with his
The thing is, he will be back. He's sitting outside. But minus the guitar, because that belongs to me.
I've got to get mine from States. Did you know? I don't know. Maybe.
Actually, it belongs to my bird. I bought it to her, tried to get her to play, and she just looked at me. I was a bit of a...
You might have to send it to your brother, I think.
Are you ready?
I'll do you said it already. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Whiskey drinking coffee shop, the mixes where you breathe. With a face anger in the silver flask of dreams. Give it up for Chelmsford Town, the place where you spill your beans. Take green bottles, yeah, you know what I mean. You try your good to what you are today. And yes, below, time to look away. Whiskey drinking, coffee Scott, the fist of pain. It's what you throw around when you can't use your brain.
Don't you wanna hear some chap tales?
Chap tales. Okay, so chap tales. All right, so I've been a bit forgetful recently. I haven't really been thinking about good old memories, but it's funny because Phil sort of done himself right up by reminding me of a couple of chap tales, one of which I'm going to tell you today. Okay, so it was back in the days of The Voice. It was like the middle section of The Voice when just before we became a great part of The Voice, and after the schoolmate part of The Voice. So we're at my ass, and it's Saturday morning. We're about to go to a rehearsal, and Matty Benson's meeting us down there with, I don't know, Jamie and maybe even Jason Logan at the time. I'm not sure, but at that time I was working for a company called Service Point, and I was like driving their vans. Like they was doing like printing reprographics and all that palaver. Yeah, but anyway, I was one of their drivers, and every now and again they used to let me take one of the vans home. So on this Saturday, I had one of their Ford Escort vans, so it's parked downstairs from my house, and then I sort of waited. Phil's turned up, and Spuggy's turned up, and so the three of us, like me and Spug, got in the front. Phil's in the back with guitars and bongos and all sorts of stuff. So we set off from the top of Kentish Town to the bottom of Camden Town. Scar Studios on Hawley Road was our destination, but as we're driving down Kentish Town Road, Spug sort of said, I'm quite hungry. Can we have a little stop off at McDonald's and get some grub? So I was like, yeah, sweet, sounds good. So we pulled over, and then I think me and Phil stayed in the van, and Spug run over to McDonald's and got us all whatever it was we wanted to munch, probably Big Mac meals. Well, Phil was definitely a Big Mac meal. I'll tell you why. So anyway, Spug's like opened the back, passed Phil his grub, got in the passenger seat. I told him to keep mine in the bag and I'll have it. Why? Because I was the vocalist and at the time weren't playing guitar. I said I'd eat mine while them not setting up their amps and whatever. So we carried on down Kentish Town Road till we got to the junction with Prince of Wales Road, where we would do a right. But just before, so we're coming up to this junction, like, and I've got someone in a motor in front of me. I don't know who, whatever. But as we've got to the junction, the lights are green to go, and there weren't no cars coming towards us on the other side. So it's a right turn. So there's no reason why the car in front of us shouldn't just do a right, and I'll follow them, and we carry on. But we got to, like, because there's like one of the old yellow hazard boxes, you know what I mean, that you shouldn't stop in on the junction, but there wasn't a car blocking the car in front of me from just doing the right, and do you know what I mean, not having to stop in the yellow box. But I don't know what they was doing, but anyway, they've hit their brakes for some reason. I don't know why. There might have been a spider or something in the road, I don't know, but they've hit their brakes, and the car's just whoosh, like, so obviously I've had to hit my brakes to save myself from going into the arse of them. And as I've hit my brakes, like, I'm forgetting that Phil's in the back of this van and there ain't no seats, you know what I mean? It's just a Ford Escort van, if they're even still about these days. And as I've hit the brakes, Phil his Big Mac and all the guitars and all the bongos and everything have gone flying down the van, and they've just smashed into the like back of the seats. Like there was a metal thing there, I think. And it was quite funny because like the Big Mac has gone all over the windscreen and Phil's just sort of laying in a big pile going, ah. And yeah, it was funny. Once I knew that Phil was all right, it was really funny, you know what I mean? But yeah, we carried on the way, we carried on into Prince of Wales Road, and I pulled over and me and Spug sort of went and got all the gear off Phil and cleaned the car because his Big Mac was everywhere. But yeah, I don't know who the person was in the car in front of us and what the reason why they hit their brakes was, but they hit their brakes. And yeah, and it's quite funny because like I was in the heath with a few of my pals, Phil being one of them. I don't know who else was there, Frank, Tyre, Ben. And we were sitting there and we was discussing these chap tales like, and on CHAP CAST, and like I was sort of saying, oh yeah, I'm just forgetting like little stories that have something lightly to do with music. But so the reason this story has something to do with music is because we was on our way to rehearsal that day, you know what I mean? But yeah, Phil actually reminded me of this story. So not really a story that he should remind me about, because now it is going out to you. Yeah, but yeah, okay, so a sweet little tale. And also gonna start getting other people to do these tales. So if you've got something that lightly has to do with music and you want to record me a chap tale to go on CHAP CAST, let me know in the comments or whatever, or just email me or whatever, johnchapman7mac.com, or get on the old Facebook page, whatever. Nice one. All right, sweet.
CHAP CAST.